Hey everyone, I'm Armor Gaming, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Monster Legends. Let's talk about the Elite Days. Elite monsters are making a huge impact on the battlefield and that calls for celebration. Come tomorrow to participate in the Elite Days in the Elite Squires breeding event. Alright, so this event starts in 10 hours and 33 minutes as of the time recording this video. By the time you guys actually see this video, I might quite honestly need to make a new video because the event would have probably already started. I'm going to try to release this a couple hours before it actually gets released just to build a little more hype to this event, but already people have been talking about this event. Now, I have been kind of missing from the scene, I've been a little busy with life, but with that being said, let me try to just tell you guys some more information about this, even though you guys might already know it, and then I just want to put some input. So, first of all, let's start with what is an elite monster? Well, Social Point released different categories to classify different monsters. Right, we have the normal monsters, the breedables, the team war monsters, the VIPs, Nemesis War Masters, and they created a new section, a new category called Elites. These are monsters who you cannot donate their cells, you cannot buy their cells in the team shop or in any shop, you can use Elementium to rank them up, but again, one of the biggest thing is that you can't trade cells, so unless you accumulate 80 cells originally, you're not going to be able to use your Elementium or Elemental cells to craft them for the first time. And then one cool thing is that some of these monsters even have rank 4 skills. For example, Dunraw. Now, as of right now, the Social Point categorizes 5 monsters as elites. Dunraw, Kane, a Drakor, Soul Hugger, and Gorg, and you can kind of see them there in the background, right? Kind of blurry. I do feel like a monster is missing. For example, if Drakor's on there, I do think that Talonay should be on there. And so let me just show you how it actually looks in the game. So if I go to my monster vaults, let me click on Craft, let me go to Vault, and let me sort by Fire. And then if I scroll all the way to the right, because I know I don't have enough cells for them, Drakor, as you can see, I have 2 out of 10, and there's a little elite symbol. If I click on that symbol, it says not enough monster cells, you can't request cells for this monster. If I scroll over, for Kane, it's the exact same thing. You can't request cells for this monster. Now, if I sort by Thunder, whoops, and then look at Talonay, I also can't request cells for this monster, but she's not categorized as elite, and I believe she should be. I'm assuming Social Point is going to add more, and I just don't understand why she wasn't initially there if she was the first Team Shop exclusive monster. And there's also future Team Shop exclusive monsters that are probably going to be categorized as elites. We already got sneak peeks on setting off from one of them. He was this phenomenal looking, paladin looking monster. If you guys remember him, he had white armor. Let me know in the comments below if you know who I'm talking about. Just comment, I know, and I'll know what you're talking about. So yeah, I believe Talonay should be included as an elite, and then we're going to get several others. But yes, we also have, who'd I say, Dunraw. Let me see if I have any cells of Dunraw. Dunraw, oh, Soul Hugger, I have 80. Oh cool, I can actually craft this monster. 80. And we'll come back to needing 80, because if you have 80, you can go to craft, and check this out. I'll do it with Soul Hugger. Sort by Legendary, sort by Dark, scroll down for Soul Hugger, let me find them. It's from, let's see, 80 is around the middle. So if I have 75 of a monster that you've never ever crafted before. So Nishan's Pet, I've crafted him before, I've bred him before, hatched him before, whatever. If you have less than 80, then you can use Elementium or Elemental cells. If you've never ever had that monster in your monstergram, meaning you never hatched a monster, you need at least 80 before you can actually use Elementium or Elemental cells. That's why I can't do Countess Flawless. Scribe I can, Duska Aura, I've never hatched her, so I would need 24 more before being able to use my Elementium. And Soul Hugger, because I accumulated 80, I could use the rest Elementium, Elemental cells, and then I could have 100, and then I can start crafting the monster. But just wanted to throw it out there because this is important, especially when we start talking about the Squire breeding events and all of that information. So let's just go back to it, click on News, Elite Days. Alright, so what are these Elite Days? What makes them so elite? Well, let's talk about it. During the next few days, or however long this event is going to last, you're going to have a chance to breed specific monsters. You should also know we're probably going to get a permanent elite book, or yeah, I doubt it'll be temporary, but check it out. There's this screenshot of the elite monsters behind a book, and there's also going to be chests for it. So if you don't want to bother with breeding or anything, you can probably just get the chests outright. And so without all that out of the way, let's talk about the breeding event. No, it is not an event where you get to breed the actual elite monsters, the Soul Hugger, the Dunraw, the Drakor, the Gorg, the Kane. Unfortunately, it's not that easy. What you can do is you get to breed regular legendary monsters, and if you successfully breed one of those legendary monsters, you get 5 additional cells for an elite monster depending on who you breed. Yes, I know it would have been a lot better if we could have actually had a chance to beat the elite monsters, but Social Point wouldn't make it that easy, right? There's a reason they're elite monsters. So, assuming you have a few cells of the monster to begin with, you know, let's say I think Kane was a progressive island, or Gorg was a progressive island. Let's say you managed to get 60 cells. This is your way to get 65, 70, 75, 80 if you manage to do 4 successful breeds. Maybe you have 75 cells, and you just need 1 successful breed to give you to that 80 mark, which will then allow you to craft the monster. So let's just quickly go through who's gonna be breedable, what monsters are breedable, because I think that's sometimes that's more important. Like getting 5 extra cells, that's pretty cool. Hopefully they do the elite days more often. Hopefully they just add it to the events. You know, so the Social Point's been kind of doing that with the maze coins now. Now whenever they have a legendary breeding event during a maze, awesome, they also give us 75 or 250 maze coins. So hopefully they start doing this more and more with elite monsters, considering how hard it is to get their cells. With that being said, the first combination is Akinotep and Metalhead, and if you breed those two monsters, you can get Gakora, who's a fantastic light monster, or Inheritor, who's a fantastic fire monster, and you also get 5 Soul Hugger cells. I'm disappointed that it's Soul Hugger, because I want Inheritor. I've been wanting Inheritor so badly, and I wouldn't mind another Gakora to rank mine up, but I don't care for the Soul Hugger cells. But as you saw from my video, I have enough for Soul Hugger, so I don't really even care about the Soul Hugger. I care about Inheritor and Gakora, so I might be trying this combination. We also have Tempest and Ultrabots, and you'll get L-Canine or Talica, which are really fantastic monsters, especially L-Canine, especially Talica. She has a double stun. She has a skill that removes positive effects and negative effects, my bad, removes negative effects. She has a team 40% shield skill. She's fantastic. And then L-Canine, you should know by now, he has cooldown activated, he has a stun, he has a guard down, fantastic monster. And you also get Dunraw, which is one of the better elite monsters in my personal opinion. Dunraw is just a game-changing monster with the Mega Taunt from the start of the battle. Like, even if the enemy outspeeds you, having Dunraw on your team, it allows you to win battles a lot easier. So if you're after Dunraw, if you need a few more cells for Dunraw, this might be the combination for you, just so you can get those extra Dunraw cells, so you can finally get yourself a really competitive monster in the game and help you win some of those tougher battles. Moving on, we can start using the breeding jokers. So the first up we have, I believe his name is Colklin and Laith, and you can actually replace Colklin with a Galante Jr., which is why I always tell you guys it is super valuable to have the breeding jokers. But you'll get a Treatapog and you'll get a Dungeon Master. Treatapog I could care less for, not important. Dungeon Master is really good, and you get 5 Dracor cells. Moving on, and I imagine most of you probably don't even have that many Dracor cells to begin with. So unless you really want a Treatapog or a Dungeon Master, this probably is not a good combination that's worth doing. Moving on, we have, I believe his name is Virtue. I think it's Virtue. Virtue and Octex. Man, this is really testing my Monster Legends knowledge. Virtue and Octex, and you can replace Virtue with Violet. You get Duska Aura or Hackster, and you can get Gorg cells. Gorg is incredible. Gorg is amazing. Gorg is a Thalassac killer. However, if you were to get Duska Aura, she's really not that great. Hackster is still pretty good, I would say. His trade is awful, but he has AoE hack, he has AoE stun, he has a time stop, which is really useful, especially when monsters are being like, hey, I'm immune to all control skills. So Hackster's still really good. So if you're after that Hackster and those Gorg cells, this might be the combination for you, especially if you also have a Violet, so you can maybe like, you have more chance than with some of the other combinations. Moving on to the last combination, we have ourselves ROFL and, oh my goodness, how do I not know his name? I should know his name. I remember that Monster Wiki, the name on Monster Week was different from the in-name game, like the spelling was off. Ah, gosh, whatever. Let's just say ROFL and that Soviet monster. If you breed those two monsters together, and you can replace ROFL with Galante, you get yourself a Fatid and the Baroness, and you get Kane cells, who Kane is also a very fantastic monster. Now, Baroness, I use her as a team speed holder. I don't really use her that much. Fatid I like, he has revival. Between all these monsters, if we ignore the elite cells, which really you're only getting 5, right? I would say the top 2 are some of the better ones, right? The Gakora, the Inheritor, the L-Canine, the Talica. Those 4 monsters are worth getting. And then Dungeon Master, Hackster, and Fatid I would say are great. But again, like, you also have a chance to get a Treatapog, a Duska Aura, and a Baroness, who aren't the best. Actually, Baroness, a lot of you guys probably have her ranked up thanks to the team race, so you might definitely be wanting to get her. Dungeon Master, a lot of you might also have her ranked up from previous 72-hour challenges and whatnot. But definitely a Gakora, an Inheritor, an Alkaline, a Talica, go for those if you're just going after the legendary monsters. If you're going after the +5 cells, good luck. You know, in the previous events we've had, the Flash breeding events, I have been unsuccessful. I've done like over 10, maybe 15 breeds, and I've been completely unsuccessful. And I think there's also a race coming up, so that might be something you want to factor in. Although the good thing about races is that it's a great way to clear those epic nodes. So one of the main things I wanted to make in this video is just be careful with using your Guardian. Like, hopefully if you were thinking about using your Guardian and you watch this video, I could stop you from using the Guardian, because you are going to want to save that Guardian for when this actual breeding event starts. Because who knows, maybe it'll be a little easier than we think, and we can get like 2 successful breeds. That's already 10 cells, and you're on your way. Especially once again, if you have 65 cells of a monster, add 10, that's 75. You just need 1 more successful breed. It could be worth it. So yeah, be on the lookout for this breeding event. Be on the lookout for the chest shop if you're someone that wants to spend money on the game and get one of these powerful monsters. I would really recommend Dunraw over everyone else. I would say get yourself a Dunraw first and you'll be a lot more competitive. Then get yourself a Gorg because you want to kill Thalassas. Then get yourself a Kane, and honestly after that, Dracor, Soulhugger. As much as I like Dracor, I think you can do without him if you have Kane. And as for Soulhugger, I don't think he's really needed in the game. And yeah, going back to the game of Monster Legends, I'm interested to see what other elite monsters will be released in the future, or what monsters will be added to the elite category. Like I said, Talonade really should be in the book. And monsters like Clipium and who else? O'Reilly, those quest monsters, I wonder if they should even be categorized as elite. But who knows, I guess we'll find out all in due time. But with that being said, that's going to be this video on the elite days. It's going to start in a couple of hours from the time you guys see this video. So let's just get out there and start breeding some awesome legendary monsters. I'm Armor Gaming, and I will see you all next time.